easy out there? Good. I'm glad you didn't run into any problems. So, what is it you're wanting me to do for you? You want me to trim your hair? Just a trim? Yeah? Well, I think we can manage that. Any more than just a little trim, and I might not feel too overly confident in my abilities, but I think that'll be okay. I went ahead and grabbed a few things after you texted me, just to be sure and be ready. So I have my brush. Yeah, I grabbed the tingle teaser one because you're quite tender-headed, right? Yeah, no judgment. Honestly, why not use the tingle teaser? Even if you're not tender-headed, no one wants their hair to be pulled. So yeah, with a little pineapple brush, I went ahead and grabbed this. And then, I'm not a hairdresser, you know this, so I do have some shears, and they're fabric shears. So they are quite sharp, but they're not hair shears. But I think since you're just wanting a little maintenance trim, they should do the trick. If we were doing anything drastically different, I probably wouldn't want to use these. I'd want to go to the store, because if we were removing a lot of length, I wouldn't want to risk damaging those hair follicles so high up, because if they were to become damaged, the breakage would travel up and you would have just a very disjointed look. Yeah, like it could look frizzy or just damaged, like heat damaged or chemically damaged, just from split ends that travel up the hair shaft. So these are the sharpest ones that I have, so I thought that's what we could use. And then I also grabbed some water, just a little spray bottle's worth. I don't want to wet your hair entirely, because when your hair's wet you can kind of lose the shape of it, but I did want to just spritz you down a little bit, because wet hair is a bit easier to cut, and since we don't have actual shears, hair shears, that is, I thought that might be for the best. So we're just gonna wet your hair just a little bit. And then I have two things actually. I grabbed this One Hit Wonder 10-in-1 leave-in spray, and I grabbed my argan oil. I figured you could choose whichever one you thought would work better for your hair. I love them both, obviously, or I would not have them. This is great, but it's a lot lighter weight than this one. So just whichever you think your hair could handle more. This one smells amazing, but it is a bit heavier. So yeah, you want to smell. Yeah. Yeah, I just want to give your ends just a nice smooth down after we're done, especially since we're getting your hair wet. I don't want it to dry all frizzy and gross. I don't know what your plans are for the rest of the day, but yeah. Yeah, if you think your hair sucks up product pretty good, we can use this then. I think it leaves a better shine. This leave-in spray is something I tend to use like directly out of the shower, whereas this I'll sometimes run through the ends of my completely dry hair, or like smooth flyaways, you know. Okay, so now that I'm done rambling, we can go ahead and get started if you want. Are you nervous? I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. It's just a trim, but I don't want to ruin your beautiful hair. It's a lot of trust you're putting in me. Okay, so your hair looks pretty good, but I am just gonna brush through it just a little bit before I dampen it. Just get any little knots out. Okay. Yeah, I'll be gentle. So. Your ends, honestly, I mean, there's a little bit that could really come off, but they don't look really damaged. They're not split. They're just a little grown out unevenly, which just happens. Hair grows at different rates. You know, every hair comes out of your head at a different time, so they're not going to line up perfectly, I think. Yeah, especially right here in the front of your hair. That's where you feel like you get the most damage. Yeah, me too, honestly. Get that out of your eyes. I do as well, yeah, right through here. I don't know if that's just what I tend to go over the most when heat styling, or if the hair that frames your face is just a touch more fragile than the rest, but I definitely do experience most of my breakage right here in this front section. How about the nape of your neck? I know some people really struggle with that. See, these really aren't. They're really not bad. You take good care of your hair. Yeah. I try, but you know I can be a little cheap. So, I do my best. I try to find good drugstore brands when I'm not feeling like splurging, but it can be hard. Just push this. Okay, and just get the back a little bit. Okay, I think that is pretty good. Yeah, you don't feel any tangles, do you? No? Okay, I'm gonna just spritz your hair, and since we're just trimming the ends, I'm gonna focus it mainly on the ends. I don't need it to be wet up to your scalp, right? Okay. Just get these ends nice and damp. Make sure the water is nice and evenly distributed. Great. Okay. So, now the scary part. So what are we thinking? I know you said trim, but are we talking like micro trim? Like just maybe an 1/8 of an inch? Or do you want like maybe 1/2 inch, like a decent trim? What do you think? So micro, yeah, you really just want to clean up these kind of frayed bits. Of course, no problem. I will do the very, very best that I can. So I'm gonna grab some of your hair here. Can't brush it. Just brush it up. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, so just brush that. And then I'm going to come in and just cut where I see that it's really growing out of shape. Yeah, just a little bit. Any little crazy bits and bobs. And then to make sure that there's no harsh lines, I'm just gonna point cut into that. Just a little bit. That looks pretty good, right? Like right there. A lot better, I think. And it already feels smoother. So I've got this front section done. I'm going to move on to the other front section since you said those were the most important pieces to you and the portions that you felt like were actually giving you some trouble. Just separate those out. And just smooth that down. And then we're going to do the same thing. Just hold it at a bit of an angle so that it's kind of wrapping around your face. And then just clean up anything that is looking just a wee bit out of whack. See how that looks so much better already? So much more even. Yeah. And then, like the same on the first one, I'm just gonna point cut just a little bit. Just to soften that out. And then let me grab my brush. Just want to just really check those lines. Much better. Yeah. You can touch it. Good. Yeah. Like I said, it already feels so much better, right? Okay, so now let's grab a section from the back. Now, I may not be able to get this in your line of vision, but I'll be doing the same thing. So I'm just brushing it out right now. Just making sure all the hair is laying the way we want it to be. And then again, I might be able to get you this. So I'm taking a rather sizable chunk here, and I'm just gonna do the same. We're gonna keep the angle that it's been cut at already. I don't want to change the shape that your hairdresser gave you. Just want to clean it up a little bit. Yeah. So then again, just gonna go through and point cut just to soften that up a little bit. So, a lot better, but honestly, it looks drastically different in the back. You're right. The majority of your damage is definitely front focused. So, yeah, that looks so much better. Love that. You're so lucky that your hair lays so beautifully anyways. So let's grab a back section over here as well. Sorry, I bumped your face. So let me just brush it out. Okay. And same old. Grab my shears again. one's really not bad at all. Good. And then point cutting. It's a little bit easier for me at this angle. Great. And then again, let me brush this out for you. And then see. Actually, now that I'm holding you up, let me just clean up one more little bit right over here. Good. So there you go. So much better. Yeah. Just do a little check for length on both sides. Don't want you to come out of here a little asymmetrical. Looks good. I think I'm gonna do one more section directly in the back of your head. So I'm not gonna be able to bring it back around to you, but you know what I'm doing at this point. So I just want to make sure we're not missing anything in the very, very, very back. So just grab this, pull it around the side here. This one actually is very, very minimal back here, so it won't take much at all to touch this up. So yeah. Great. Yeah, very, very, very small amount of fraying back here. Okay, so I think that looks really good. Just running my fingers through your hair, just double checking all the layers, because you do kind of have a little bit of layering going on, kind of angled towards the face, so I just want to check those, make sure that the shorter layers are holding up well and don't need any of my real attention. It's such a pretty color. Love that. Okay, now that we're done brushing it, we're just gonna take a little bit of this oil, just a little bit. It really does go quite a long way. And I'm gonna run that through the ends of your hair, and then we'll be good to go. Just gonna really focus it on these ends, especially just in the front. I want to smooth them down. Yeah. Good. Then let's do one last little length check. Good. Great. Okay. So I think personally that you look great, but it's very minimal change. So we can go to the bathroom and take a look if you want. Just make sure you don't see any weird scraggly bits or junk that I managed to miss. So yeah, do you want to just come with me in there?